we can kick things off with last night in Eugene, double OT, Oregon versus USC. Any thoughts on that game last night?
Yeah, it was certainly a pretty entertaining game. I was actually kind of flipping back and forth between the Duck USC game and then the Oregon State UCLA game because both of those games were pretty entertaining finishes. I think it really does go to show that the depth overall in the Pac-12 on the men's side is pretty good this year because USC has had a couple interesting results, and I guess you can say the same thing about the Ducks, but I don't know what the point spread was, for gambling. I would assume the Ducks were a pretty decent favorite last night, but as we saw, they were given kind of everything they could handle in that game. And, I think Peyton Pritchard is making a really good case to be Pac-12 Player of the Year, maybe even National Player of the Year. And really with the way that I think Oregon is playing, certainly if you're a Duck fan, I think you have to like the way things have been going so far for those guys.
You do. And a milestone night for Peyton Pritchard, I read, where he now has a career where it includes 1,500 career points. I think it's 600 career assists and around 500 career rebounds. And he's the first ever to do it in those three categories, as far as I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a really, really special college player, I think. I remember I got to see him play a couple times in high school. He went to Westland High School up just outside of Portland and actually won 4 state championships at Westland. And he's kind of got all the intangibles that you look for in a point guard. And, he started on Oregon's team that went to the Final Four. He wasn't necessarily the star of that team or anything. There were a lot of other NBA guys there, but Peyton, I would say, had a bit of an up and down sophomore and junior years with the Ducks, but my goodness, he really turned it on at the end of last season. I think a lot of people remember the Ducks' really good run in the NCAA tournament, and then he's just kind of kept it going this year. I think Peyton is probably playing himself into maybe a second-round NBA draft pick. He's having a really nice senior season.
He's having a great year, and the Ducks right now are currently ranked 12, the highest ranked Pac-12 team. And if you look at their body of work over the whole year, I want to go back to November, Thanksgiving, Feast Week. They were out in the Bahamas. It was the battle for the Atlantis, and the Ducks went 1-2. They beat Seton Hall, who's now number 10. They lost in overtime to the Zags. And then they lost to Carolina when Carolina still had Cole Anthony, a top 10 pick. And I think Peyton, to your point, played well last season, came into this year, played against some great teams and great players, and he's kept that momentum rolling into the Pac-12.